What do you do when the market takes a dive, credit card bills are mounting, and foreclosure is knocking at your door? Well, plan A, you could hide under a rock and hope your problems go away, or face the fear and get moving into plan B. The Dow bounced back a little bit, but the market is still volatile. To put it mildly, get your money questions ready for author, columnist, and financial analyst Terry Savage tonight on Garrard McClendon Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're watching Garrard McClendon Live. It's my job to give you the savage truth. And when Chicagoland needs information and a few radical opinions, you can always turn to Garrard McClendon Live. Hey, speaking of the savage truth, joining us from Tribune Tower is author, columnist, and financial analyst Terry Savage. Terry, welcome to Garrard McClendon Live.
Good to be with you.
Terry, you know, I was reading your article, I believe from yesterday.
In the Chicago Sun-Times, Gerard.
Absolutely.
Okay. I know I'm sitting here in your Tribune Tower, but the Sun-Times pays my bills.
There we go. Sun-Times article, I'm looking at the first paragraph. It says the Fed said it wouldn't bail out another financial firm. Terry, AIG, you know, why is this happening? Why is there a bailout now?
They blinked because, well, I'm reluctant to call it a bailout, although that's a popular term. Let's see why they did what they did, which was lend them a lot of money and take a big stake in the company. They own 80% of the company now. They did it because AIG was simply too internationally and globally interwoven with so many other financial institutions, not to mention all the teachers here that have their pensions and 403Bs and annuities through those subsidiary companies. It was just going to be too much of a mess, like unraveling a bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah.
So they didn't quite bail them out, and let's make that clear. You remember, well, you don't remember, but back in 1979, the government guaranteed a loan to Chrysler for just $1.2 billion.
Yes, I do remember that.
Chrysler paid it back. It gave them breathing room to restructure, to lay off people and so forth. They paid it back with interest, and the government made a little money.
Yeah.
And the hope and the belief, and I think it's a reasonable belief, that AIG, under Ed Liddy, who is, by the way, a fabulous guy, a Chicagoan. He was CEO and chairman of Allstate for a long time. I know him well, and he's extraordinarily capable. And AIG has some really good subsidiaries, some very good insurance companies. They weren't in trouble at all. It was some of these loan guarantees, kind of swaps, credit default, a lot of that stuff, but not the big basic business of the company that was in trouble. So the loan will give them $85 billion and time, so they can sell those subsidiaries and pay back the money to the government. I'm willing to bet right now, so hold me to this, that 2 years from now, they will pay the government back, in fact, pay them back with that 11% interest, and there will be people saying, why did they ever take over AIG? Because, look, they were profitable. They paid back the loan, and they're still going on. I think that's what will happen.
You know, AIG, very important, 74 million clients in over 130 countries. I mean, I think it's a good move. You know, only time will tell. You know, Terry, let's get some basic questions out of the way. Terry, what is a recession? We hear that word all the time, but what is a recession?
Well, according to the official calculations of a recession, it is 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth, the bottom line minus GDP. We're not there yet. In fact, last quarter, the economy grew strongly. But if you ask people, are you in a recession or a depression? You know, I think a recession is when you lose your job, but depression is when you lose your home.
Yeah.
But that's not the official economic definition, of course.
Absolutely. Terry, when you're in coffee shops, you're sitting down having a cup of coffee, this question comes up all the time. The United States borrowing money from other countries. You know, what happened to the U.S.? You know, we're the power brokers of the world. We actually borrow money, and why do we borrow money from other countries, Terry?
Hey, we have borrowed $9 trillion. That's our national debt. This year alone, if you take the money you bring in taxes and the money Congress has voted to spend, and for whatever reason, on a war, on giving aid to a, you know, the country that was attacked by Russia, on roads, on senior citizens and Medicare and Social Security. Well, the gap is $400 billion just this year. The year ends in October.
Yeah.
So we keep spending more than we take in. In that way, the government is not unlike a lot of citizens who finance their lifestyles on their credit card. The government, however, has this extra opportunity. They can print the money. So they borrow it or they print it.
Speaking of printing money, I'm looking at India, Australia, Hong Kong, and London. How do these markets affect the United States?
Well, we probably affect them more. You know, every time, let me just make it sort of simple. You go to Walmart and you buy towels or shoes or clothes that are imported from China. And Walmart pays its bills in U.S. dollars to those companies. They're in China, they deposit them in the bank. They're not going to pay their employees with dollars. They deposit dollars in the bank and use the local currency to pay the employees. So the dollars pile up in the Chinese central bank, or for that matter, the Japanese central bank, or central banks around the world. Now they have lots of dollars. The U.S. says, oops, we're spending an extra $400 billion more than we took in taxes this year. We'll borrow that from someone, and they're happy to lend it to us. Only under two considerations. The interest rate is fair. Well, they don't like it so much when rates are going down. My mom doesn't like it when she goes running around trying to find high rates.
Most
so
definitely.
They don't like it when rates are going down, and they don't like it when it looks like we're creating a lot of money, and maybe the money they have is not worth so much because we're creating more dollars. There's a little bit of that going on.
You know, Terry, I was in this store the other day and just doing some browsing, but I really want one of those LCD or one of those plasma 42-inch screens. And here's the deal. You know, just a few months ago, these things were well over $1,000, $2,000. I saw one the other day. It was far under $1,000. What is your answer to these deep discounts happening in retail outlets?
You like those, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, well, you know what? That's happening in the real estate market. Just last week, I saw a home that was priced at only $129,000 when the owners thought it was worth $250,000, and they took out a $249,000 mortgage. So now the banks are foreclosing, they're dumping, and the prices are going down. Technology is the reason for the LCD TV going down, but a lot of other prices are going down just because there are no buyers, nobody with cash left.
We want to pick up on that after the break, Terry. Hold tight. Got a question about your finances? The Savage Truth and the Savage Number joins us with more money mantras. Give Terry Savage a call right here. Garrard McClendon Live. We've got Terry Savage, The Savage Truth, and The Savage Number. Those are her books. Welcome back to Garrard McClendon Live. Terry Savage is with us discussing Money Matters. 630-575-TALK is the number, 630-575-TALK. Call us. I'm going to be taking a phone call here shortly. I want to double back, though, Terry, on the deep discounts we just discussed with these plasma screens and the housing market. I mean, even though it's bad, is this the time to buy a house? It's not a seller's market, but is this the time to buy a house?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, as a matter of fact. If you've been frugal and you've saved up a down payment, it didn't seem like enough of a down payment when the home prices were 20% higher, but now you could get a bargain. I mean, believe me, nobody feels worse for all the people that are losing their homes, because I kept shouting in the wind, don't do these 0% down loans, don't do these adjustable rate mortgages. So I feel bad about that, but for those who have good credit and a little bit of money down, you can go to the bank now. They will make loans because they own so many homes that they've already foreclosed.
Yes.
That if you've got good credit and not a zero down payment, but maybe 5 or 10%, there's some first-time home buyer deals out there and special deals, you could get the bargain of your lifetime.
Yes, Terry, we're going to the phones. I've got Andre.
Okay.
Andre, thanks for calling Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment?
Hey, this is Andre Newman. I'm calling you, man, because I'm appalled at the way the politicians and everybody have played us.
Okay.
They're absolutely. I mean, it's just mind-boggling that as a country, I think that we need to come together, and this may be, if you believe in God, this may be His way of bringing everybody together, because the economy is so bad. Businesses is like Merrill Lynch, Lehman Brothers, and AIG, and all these other ones that are in trouble. Maybe now we'll get past racism and we'll realize that the best candidate that we really have is Barack Obama.
Wow.
Anytime a man sits up and says that the fundamentals of this economy are sound, and you're sitting here watching the people go out of business. Merrill Lynch, these companies are over God knows how large. I mean, they're extremely large and they're old as I don't know what.
Yeah.
Where did all the money go to?
Wow.
I honestly almost think that this might be some sort of conspiracy to drain all of the money out of the economy before he goes in, and he'll never be able to get that straight with us.
Oh, Andre, hey, Andre, thanks for the call. You know, Terry, conspiracy theory, what's going on? I mean, is this, I want to follow up Andre's call by asking this question. Are the markets, is this a concrete thing, or I want to say this question the way I had it written earlier because, you know, are the markets concrete or is this just funny money, Terry? I mean, come on.
Well, wait a second, Gerard, because I never heard anybody complaining back in 2000 when all their dot-com stocks were doubling and tripling and money magically appeared in their accounts. And nobody said, is this concrete or is this not? If you sold and you took your profits and you went and bought a house or you went and bought a TV or a car, that was real money.
Yeah.
So leaving politics aside, the markets are bigger than any one person, and for sure the action of the last few days has proved it. They're bigger than the Federal Reserve Chairman and the Secretary of the Treasury. The markets are the will of people who are willing to put their money up and buy or sell. That's where people agree to disagree on the value of something at a certain price.
You know, Terry, you're absolutely right. No one complains when that mutual fund or that stock is starting to go up. It's like, wow, I'm doing real well. But the minute something goes wrong, let me find the first person to blame. I'm going back to the phones. Lisa, thank you for calling Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment, Lisa?
Hi. I wanted to ask Terry for her suggestions or recommendations for where one can place their money and earn at least 5% interest without putting the money in the stock market or mutual funds.
You want to know where you can earn 5% with no risk, right?
Basically, yes. Like I hear a lot about Treasury bonds, and bills, and so forth.
Lisa, listen very carefully. There is no place today where you can put your money and earn 5% with zero risk. In fact, short-term Treasury bills are yielding maybe about 1%, and longer-term Treasury notes are 3.5%, 4%. So there is no place, anyone who offers you 5% is not offering you a risk-free investment. Wow. Now, I know some SNLs out there are offering one-year CDs at a rate slightly higher than 4%. And that money is insured, and they're bidding up to get your money to keep going. And my own mother called me this morning and said, well, I went to, I won't name it, but one of the ones that's in the headline, and I took out a one-year CD at 4.8%. But it's certainly not $100,000. I said, okay, Mom, you're insured.
That's right. Lisa, thanks for the phone call. I'm going to Jim. Thank you for calling Garrard McClendon Live. Jim, what's your comment?
I wanted to ask Terry about college loans for my daughter's a senior, and it seems like you read every day that college loans for private loans are crying out.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah. There is very little money out there in terms of loans. Even if your college, university says, okay, you're qualified for federal student loans, there are very few financial institutions making those loans. I'll give you a couple of websites. I love simpletuition.com. That's a website that will teach you an awful lot about getting student loans. You should work with she's a senior now. You have got a year, so maybe the situation will loosen up with all this money they're putting in. Simple Tuition is a great one to learn about federal student loans, and fastweb.com is a great one, FASTWEB, to learn about scholarships that are available. You have to write some insane essays and do a lot of work to earn these, and they're $500 at a time, but you can build up quite a portfolio of free money, scholarships, if you start now and work at it.
I've got Terry Savage on the show. The Savage number and the Savage truth. 630-575-TALK is my number. Still to come on Garrard McClendon Live. More with author, columnist, financial analyst Terry Savage. Drop the remote. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Welcome back. The website, terrysavage.com. We've got Terry Savage on the show today. Hey, 630-575-TALK is the number to speak with Terry Savage and Garrard McClendon. Welcome back, everyone. I appreciate you staying with us through the break. You know, Terry, definitions again. What is a foreclosure? We hear the word several times a day.
Oh, all too many people understand the word foreclosure. I mean, you borrowed money from a bank and you don't make correct, timely payments. You can't even get past 1 month today before they start sending you letters. And they want the property. They really don't want the property back.
Right.
But it's gotten so complex because it's not sitting there in their bank vaults. They sold that mortgage. They're servicing it. You're sending your checks to them. It got packaged up and sold to investors. So it's so hard these days to work with the banks. Maybe the Fannie and Freddie takeover will result in a little bit more flexibility in getting these mortgages restructured.
Definitely. Terry, we appreciate you. We're going to take some more phone calls here. Marcia, thank you for calling Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment?
Thank you. Number one, I wanted to thank Terry for the financial advice she's given so far. I think it's wonderful that we will have your website, and I can go and personally sit and read, because I had to turn down my phone, in order to speak. But I'd like to say that we as senior citizens on a fixed income, we are instantly going to feel the effects in what we buy. There may be raises in county and city taxes. We will feel that. I like to quote from Obama. Those of us who have been blessed by the riches of the land, who are the wealthiest among us, how grand it would be if we would make a patriotic gesture by paying more taxes. So those on the other end of the fence who have much more in funds than we have, who have profited greatly from the stock markets and all of those kind of things, to me, if there is a tax increase, that increase should stay with the wealthiest of the lands, because those of us on the lower end, we're already going to be paying.
Wow, Marcia, thank you so much for the call. Terry, you have an answer for that. I mean, she's bringing politics in the mix.
Yeah, well, money is all about politics, and it's about what will get the economy growing again. You think about it this way, Marcia, what everybody's focused on now is how are we going to cut up this pie that's the economy? How are we going to take away the big pieces from those people and give a bigger piece to some of these people who don't have so much? But the real solution to America's problems, given that we're so much in debt, is not how to divide up that pie, but how to grow the whole pie. Okay? And the way you grow the pie is to get the economy going again, get businesses creating jobs. And that's really, John F. Kennedy said it best. He was the one who said, a rising tide raises all ships.
That's right.
And he also said, paradoxically, and this is a quote from Kennedy, the best way to collect more tax revenues so we can spend more for people who need it is to lower the tax rate. And just so you know, when Kennedy came into office, the top personal tax rate was 90%. He cut it down to 70%, and he cut the corporate tax rate from 52% to 48%, and we had what became known as the Kennedy boom.
That's right.
So it's not always so obvious that by taking money away from those people, we're going to give these people a bigger piece of the pie. We need to grow that pie. We need to grow our economy.
Terry, this is all speculation because we don't know who's going to be the president yet, but, who has a better plan, McCain or Obama?
Well, I have a blog up on my website. Part of my blog is a link that says, what do you think about their economic plans? The most important thing is we have two candidates that are spending hundreds of millions of dollars, and your people are contributing. They are buying our votes. Okay, why is it? The job of the president, and the last I saw, pays a little over $400,000 a year. Why do they spend hundreds of millions of dollars to get our votes? There's some power there.
Yeah.
Well, our votes are powerful. We need to say to both candidates, wait a minute, don't keep making these empty promises to spend more money and you'll create more money and then we'll have inflation. How about thinking about how you're going to reorganize government and spend less? Whoever gets there.
Wow, Terry, hold tight. That's the savage truth. Talk to me online at CLTVtalk@tribune.com to email me. I may read your comment on the air. Stay in touch after the show by visiting our website, CLTV.com. Still to come. Will times get any better? Soon? Stay with CLTV. Garrard McClendon Live is back in 2 minutes. Hey, we got intelligent callers today here with me and Terry Savage. Terry, thanks for staying with us the whole show. I'm going to go right back to the phones, and then I'm going to get a final thought from you, Terry. Let's go to Curtis. Curtis, thanks for calling Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment, Curtis?
How you doing?
Excellent.
I have a question for Terry. I met with someone who deals with index annuities and equity index annuities regarding savings. I know it's not exactly the same as putting your money in the stock market, but they pretty much ensure or guarantee that you won't lose your money. They don't, and you can get a significant gain on your money. What's your thoughts on the annuities?
Thank you for the call.
Boy, what a terrific, sophisticated audience you have. Okay, actually, I've written a lot about annuities, and you can find those columns at my website, terrysavage.com. The two kinds of annuities out there, and basically let me divide them into the ones that are ripping off senior citizens by charging high rates to give them tax deferral and locking them up for years with penalties. I don't like those at all. But I haven't owned some of those tax-deferred annuities that have guaranteed minimum income benefits. It's very hard for you all to understand what the difference is, so I do have some columns posted on annuities. You want annuities that track the whole stock market, not just part of it, not just without the dividends and so forth. So it's a very sophisticated concept, and done right with people you trust, you can shelter some money and grow some money. So I can't give you a blanket thumbs up or thumbs down on that.
Yeah, Terry, hey, give me a final thought.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. This is a unique show, I think, in Chicago. You have a great, great audience, very thoughtful, very intelligent and sophisticated. And so I just want to say this. We are coming up to an election. It's the kind of thing that tends to divide people. Are you on this side or that side? But America has put together the greatest economic system and political system ever seen on the face of the planet. It's created more wealth for more people than any other system any other country's ever tried. Wow. So while we may disagree, we all got to work together once the election's over and get America growing and going again. It starts with responsibility at home and demanding responsibility of our elected officials.
That's right. Terry Savage, terrysavage.com, the savage truth, the savage number. Thanks a lot, Terry. Hey, you have a good day now.
Thank you.
All right. Don't panic. There is a silver lining somewhere over the rainbow. Financial times are tough now, but you are more powerful than you think. Terry's information gives us an indication of market behavior, and we should discipline ourselves for rocky times. Today is the first day to cut up a credit card or delay a purchase. You should save some money. That's Garrard McClendon live for tonight. I'm Garrard McClendon saying keep your head up and always be encouraged. Good night. Ask or ask, Donda's rules, suit shoes. McClendonreport.com.